Hi, you've clicked onto today's tropical tidbit for Wednesday. Here we are looking at the Atlantic Ocean. There's not a whole lot going on out there right now. This area of low pressure used to be Invest 92L, got undesignated yesterday. This is going to be coming important down the road, not for development in itself, but when you have a lot of low pressure out here, what's going to be going on over the next week or so as we head towards the tail end of this month and the first couple of days of June, where there's going to be a lot of ridging developing over eastern North America, eastern United States over here. And when you get a lot of ridging in here, if there's a lot of low pressure out here in the mid and upper levels, it tends to back westward underneath it, and you can get trough splits going on and all sorts of funny business with upper lows coming down in here and trying to ventilate the tropics, or perhaps have stuff go on underneath them as subtropical developments. And if we look at the European at day 7 over here, you see the blowtorch ridge going into the eastern North America over here. See the lingering trough over here. This is actually some of the remnants of the 92L system, and there's a trailing trough all the way back here between the two ridges. And this is something that can come underneath and ventilate areas. You'll have a kind of a trough here in the subtropical jet coming across with upper divergence around it. High wind shear in the northern Caribbean, but lower in the south. And you see there's weak low pressure down here. The European's been lowering pressures along with the other models for some time now, getting steadily a little bit deeper with time, showing the potential for some things to be watchable as we head towards the beginning of the season. The 12 yesterday was really interesting. It brought a trough split right underneath the ridge and started developing a potent low pressure system, likely subtropical in nature, right under this in the Gulf of Mexico here. And obviously this was only one run on the model, but it's just still interesting to see that as the ridging builds here, trough splits come across back west, and you see things can happen. We've got two varieties that the models are looking at right now. There's this kind where it develops right under the upper low, and there's the other kind where the Caribbean gets ventilated to the southeast of it and you get development there. The Canadian shows some interesting things too. The 0Z from last night shows a low pressure system in the Bahamas due to a trough split that's over here over the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Again, the divergent side of the low, of the upper low, having a surface low forming underneath with ridging to the north over here and troughing backing southwestward. Interesting to see that showing up. The GFS is also showing mischief by day 8 over here, but this time of a different variety, with low pressure forming down here in the Caribbean. If we look at what the upper level map looks like at that time, there's a sharp trough over the Gulf of Mexico, so this isn't a cold core development beneath an upper low, but rather a divergent development right here southeast of the jet on the southeast flank of this trough over here. Wind shear of course is going to be high in here, but there's some light upper level winds in the southern Caribbean pushing north with the tropical ridge rather, that will allow things to start to get going down here. And as pressure's lower, which all the models are unanimously agreeing on low pressures developing in this area of the world over the next couple of weeks, eventually culminating into what could be some of our first tropical mischief of the season to look for any kind of development. Of course still far out, nothing really significant on the models at this time, but there's still some agreement. As you can see, every single one of these models is showing the potential for something to go on down here as we head towards the beginning of the season. And with this kind of a pattern, with the ridging here, with La Nina, trough splits that come underneath, is the classic way that early season developments go on most of the time. They come from upper features diving down to the tropics and causing non-deep tropical development that has some baroclinic influence to it. So we'll have to watch for that over the next couple of weeks, particularly during the next 7 to 10 days as the very beginning of the season starts. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.